Hello, you are welcome to ICT class, and today our topic is very simple and interesting one. Our topic is computer software. Remember, about 2 weeks ago we looked at the component of computer system, where we mentioned 3 components of computer system. We said we have computer hardware, computer software, and the peopleware. So today we are going to look at computer software. Remember, last week we talked about the computer hardware, the physical part of the computer. So today we are going to talk about the non-physical part of the computer system. So that is called the computer software. So let's look at what we have under this topic to discuss. First, what is computer software? Secondly, state types of computer software. Thirdly, define types of computer software. And the fourth one is list examples of system and application software. So sit back and enjoy the lesson. Alright, now before we dive into the lesson of today, I would like you to look at this diagram, this picture. You will see that the arrows move to and fro in the picture. So this represents the computer system, and especially the component part of the computer system that we mentioned last week: the hardware, the software, and the user. So it means if you remove any one of it, the computer system will not work well. So, and in the middle of everything here, you will see that software is in between the computer hardware and the computer software. So it means software is like a lifeline of the computer system. So a computer without software will not work properly. It will be as if maybe you are using a remote control, or you are pressing the button or many buttons before you can get the work done with the computer without no software. So let's look at what this software is all about. Now, computer software, these are instructions that direct hardware about what to do and how to do it. So what do we mean by that? Instruction is the program that controls the hardware of the computer, and that is the reason why when you on the computer, it will load the software so that you can now interact with the computer. Without the software, you will not be able to interact with the computer. Take a look at your television at home. Can you work with the television? Once you on it, you sit back and watch. But computer is not like a television at home, because it has something that is very important that controls and that can allow you to interact with the computer, and that is what we call computer software. So, and these are the instructions that direct the hardware on what to do and how to do it. All right, so now let's look at the types of computer software. We have 2 major types of computer software: the system software and the application software. So we are going to look at these two to understand what they stand for. So let's start with computer system software. Now, system software is a set of instructions that control hardware and application software. Now, if you look at this picture again, you will see that there is an operating system that is closer to the hardware. So it means that particular software is closer to the hardware. It is the software that controls the hardware part of the computer, and that is why we can now define that system software as a set of instructions that control both hardware and application software. If you look at the diagram again, you will see that on top of the operating system is application software. So it means the operating system controls the hardware and it also allows the application software to be run on the computer, thereby by allowing the user to use the application software on the computer system. So let's take the definition again. I believe you understand what I've explained. So let's take the definition again. System software is a set of instructions that controls both the hardware and the application software. So when we get to application software, you will understand why we need the two on the system, the source system software and the application software. Now let's look at the logo of some of these system software, especially the operating system shown in the diagram here. This one, operating system. So these are the common logos of the system software. We have Windows XP, Vista, Windows 7, Windows 10, and for Android, for those of us using mobile phone, we also have operating system there. And this bird here is for Linux, and this apple, the beaten apple, is for the Apple system. Now let's look at the application software. Now friends, application software are programs that help us to carry out our daily activities, that is our work. Like for example, the game software you always use to play games is not a system software, but is an application software because it is used for a particular task. You cannot use one application software for the work of another application software. Like you cannot use Paint to type letter, but you can use it to draw. And you cannot use Microsoft Word to draw. So as you can see, application software is the software that help the user to carry out our work and is closer to the user, as you can see in this diagram here. Look at it. Application software is closer to the user because it is what the user will use on the computer. But operating system, which is a system software, is closer to the hardware. But in the middle of everything, you see that both operating system and application software sit in between user and the hardware, and that is the software that help us to interact with the computer. So let's look at the definition of application software again. Application software are programs that help us to carry out our daily activities, our work. So anytime you are typing, you are drawing in Paint, you are playing games, or you are browsing the internet, you are using application software. And on your mobile phone, we call it app. So I believe you now know where that name is coming from. App is called application software. All right, let's look at common logos of this application software. These are some common logos, like maybe Gmail, Word, Online, Gmail for Office, then Google Doc, Google Drive, then Box, YouTube, PDF, Reader, and so on and so forth. All right, now I would like us to move to examples of system software. So we have two that we are going to discuss here today. So the first one is operating system. I believe I've been talking about operating system since. So let's explain what that operating system is. Operating system is used to control all the devices and other software on the computer. So when you are interacting with the hardware, maybe you press the button on the computer, the power button, and the computer on. Remember, you are using operating system because it's a system software. So it also helps us to interact with the computer through our application software. So let's look at the examples of operating system. We have Windows and Linux. So all the examples that we showed in the system software, they are all examples of operating system. Now there is another software under the system software which is called utilities. So what do we use utilities for? We use it for repairing our computer. So let's look at the examples before we explain that. We have antivirus and we have scan disk. So as you know, antivirus is a software that helps us to remove virus from our system. So what it does is to repair our computer from the damage done by a virus. So when you hear antivirus, always remember it's a system software. Alright, let's move to examples of application software. Now, most of the app or application software are here on the screen. So any software you are using, because you can only see the running of the system software when you on the computer, but the software you use as a user is application software. So most of the app are application software because that's the one you can use to get your work done. So let's look at the 5 examples here. We have word processing. So examples are Microsoft Word and WordStar. We have word processing is a software we use to type. So that's why you are hearing Microsoft Word, WordStar. Then we have graphics. So graphics is a software we use for drawing. So examples are Paint and CorelDRAW. So we've started our practical with Paint. So I believe you are familiar with it. Alright, then we have spreadsheet. Spreadsheet is the one we used in is a simple calculator we can use to calculate simple accounts. So examples are Microsoft Excel and Lotus 1, 2, 3. So let's look at another example. That's games. Under games, we have examples like Mario, Marvel's Bacon, Zuma Deluxe, and Mario. So all these are games that we can use, we can play on maybe our phone or on the computer. Then the last one is called communication software. Communication software are the software we use to communicate to the outside world. That is, you can use it to browse the internet. Examples are Internet Explorer, Opera, Mozilla Firefox. So I believe after this class, you can now say computer software is very important and it sits in between hardware and the user. So if you remove software from the computer system is incomplete and it will not work. So that is our topic for today. Thank you for listening.